Hello guys, I welcome you all again to my channel. If this is the first time you are coming across my content, do well to click on the subscribe button and then click on the notification button so that you can be notified on when a new video is dropped on this channel. Basically, what we'll discuss here is about jobs and interview, scholarship abroad, international scholarship, postgraduate abroad, and things that relate to career growth. We are discussing the topic today about 5 interview questions for teachers, basically. So if you go through the channel, you'll see a lot of interview tips for different professionals, but we're looking at teachers at the moment. Basically, I've emphasized in every of the interview tips and questions, for every other profession that tell me about yourself is a generic question. It's a question that comes to bear for every interview, irrespective of your profession. So for different professions, there are different ways you want to answer them. So for a teacher, when that question, tell me about yourself, is being asked, one of those things you want to impute in your answer is to say that I have mentioned that you need to, prepare minimum of 2 minutes answer for this question. This is very important. So when you are asked, one of those things you want to impute is that you are a passionate teacher. You can adapt with pressure. There are a lot of pressure that comes with teaching job. You write your lesson work. You deal with different type of students. So and you want to say that you are the type that adapts different teaching methodology or style depending on the student's need. You are the type that adapts, teaching method that is able to cater for every one of your students, irrespective of their learning capability. So you want to also say that you are a good leader. So as a leader, as a teacher with good leadership skill, you are able to manage the different personality in your class, depending on background, irrespective of the student background, you are able to manage them. Another thing you want to say as somebody who is introducing themselves as a good teacher is that you have good written communication skill, both verbal and written communication skill. Effective communication skills. So you want to mention this. So one of an example of tell me about yourself answer that you want to give is, for example, if you are asked if I am to be interviewed as a teacher and that question is thrown to me, I want to say, oh, okay, they say, tell me about yourself, having settled down to get to be interviewed, and they say, okay, could you please tell us about yourself? So what you do, I would say, I am Jamil Ishaq. I'm a graduate of BSc Integrated Science with over 2 years of experience teaching in so. And over the years, I have been able to learn how to adapt different teaching methodology in order to cater for everyone in my class. I have good communication skill or effective communication skill. I am very passionate about teaching. I impact knowledge. I have leadership skill. I have this, I have that. I am able to adapt with pressure, and I am very organized. I'm the type that organized my teaching before time, so that my teaching is very methodological, and is such that I plan my teaching before going into the class. And this is a little about myself. So if you are able to, say this, you want to be fast, you want to, rehearse it all along before your interview date, this will put you in the best position to get in the job. The very second question that you might be asked as a teacher is, how do you manage pupils in your class? This is a very tricky one, and this is asking you a practical question. And you understand that in recent time, teachers, even in Nigeria, let alone if you are planning to get interview for UK job, as the border has been open for teachers, you are not allowed to use corporate punishments on the students. And so you want to still be able to instill discipline in your student without using corporate punishment, without the formal way by which pupils are being trained. So you want to say that one of the very way I manage my class, different behavior in my class is such that I use three formula, or 3R, which is respect, response, and different range or right approach to learning. Respect, response, and right approach to learning. The respect here is that I ensure that right from the beginning of my interaction with my student, I ensure that I instill respect among the student, such that there is mutual respect among the student. I also, and there is a respect for myself, and I also respect the student. So allowing that their opinion is heard, and that everybody opinion is respected. I also ensure that there is a response. So I ensure that my teaching methodology is such that I get feedback from my students to be able to know how they feel, to be able to know what the atmosphere is, if there's learning taking place, or I am just doing my thing. I also ensure that I instill the habit of the right approach to learning in my students by ensuring that I make learning to be lifelong to them. I ensure that I instill that right mindset of learning to them, and being that I adapt my teaching such that I carry everyone in my class along. So this is how I am able to manage, and in a situation where there are deviant students, I try to get to meet them on a one-on-one basis to understand what the problem is, and see if it is what I could tackle. And if there's a need for me to report the issue to higher authority, I do not hesitate to do to either my supervisor or my manager. So this is how you tackle such, especially for those who want to get interviewed for UK job. This is very important. The number 3 question that you're likely going to be asked is tell us about a teaching, or how would you cope with pressure on your job? Number 3 question would be like, how would you cope with pressure of teaching? You will say that one of those things you want to say is that you ensure that you plan your class, because proper planning would actually help you to organize yourself, and to be able to meet up with target, and to be able to meet up with your work as at when due. You also ensure that you have adequate rest while you're not at work. You ensure that you eat well, you eat balanced diet, so that you are not having breakdown of your health. You ensure that you exercise regularly, so that this will help you in coping with stress of the job. So you say those things, that would actually help you, because the truth of the matter is your personal care, your personal care is actually very integral part of coping with stress at work. So if you are the type that do not, sleep well, this will affect your productivity at work. If you're the type that do not eat well, this might actually affect your productivity at work. If you're the type that, you do not exercise, so this might put a lot of stress on you and would actually affect your productivity. So you want to say that while you are not at work, you ensure that you sleep well, you ensure that you exercise to enable you cope with stress, and you ensure that you organize your class, you plan your class ahead of time, and this will help you to cope well with pressure. One of the questions you might also be asked is, tell us about a time or a teaching lesson you are involved that did not go well. So this is a situational question. You want to, be able to say an experience that you've got, but one of the things I must put here is that you don't want to mention the fact that you had an unruly student or a student that you could not control. This will put you forward as somebody who could not manage behavioral problem in their class. So you want to just say that, okay, maybe you had a situation where you were called to cover for a colleague, and so you assume, so you just look at the week of the lecture, and you begin the lecture from that week, not knowing that the previous lecture that the previous lecture that the student had was not properly understood by by majority of the pupils. So it was when you got to the middle of the class, you realize that the students are not actually coping, because the class you are taking is actually linked with the previous one. So that was when you realized that you had made a mistake, and this was because you were calling to cover for a colleague and not primarily your class. So you would say that this happened in the early stage of your teaching career, and now you understand that even when you are being called to come and cover for a colleague, you have to understand, you have to see and assess the pupils to ensure that they understand the previous class, and this you have been able to correct going forward. So you want to say things like that it happened in the early stage of your career. So these are some of the questions. Another very important question that you might be asked is, why should we hire you? You don't want to say things like, I am the best for the job. So you want to say that you want to ensure that you are bringing minimum of about three answer on board. Why you should be hired. You want to say that the organization, if they give you the opportunity to be hired, that you will be one of the best investments that they will have, and they will have a good return on their investment. You want to say that I am a good match to the job description. After going through the job description, I realized that my skill sets, my experiences are a top match to this job description, and I am going to deliver well on the job, which I have done in the past. I have high level of experience, doing this, doing that, doing this as a teacher and all that, or as a nurse, So basically, so you want to say things in that regard. And one of those things that might actually be a selling point for you is that you would say that you want to build a long-term career with the organization, being part of their success story. So when you say things like this, it will put you forward as somebody who is ready and who will be an asset to the organization. I'll stop this here. Please do well to click on the subscribe button, click on the like button, put down your comments, and share this video to people on your contact list. Somebody somewhere might just need the content of this video. Thank you so much. I see you in my next video.